Well, somebody's happy that I'm here. This hawk has been screaming at me for the past 10 minutes as I was getting myself ready. I hear you. Thank you. Today I'm here to clean the headstones of Marion R. Jones and her husband John Batts Jr. Jones. I see that you both lived to be about, well, not even quite 60 years old. I hope you both had good lives. I hope you did not fear your death. And I hope you are not only resting in eternal peace, I hope you are enjoying all the benefits of heaven and the beauty of eternity. It's what we all live for here on earth. Although we do dread death, we want to stay on earth. I think when we die, that's like our greatest promotion ever. So again, I hope you both had good lives. I'm going to clean your headstone now, and feel free to chat with me if you have anything that you'd like to say about your life. I am here. It's been over a week. First of all, I'm gonna have to cut this one branch because it's just driving me crazy. Okay, so I cut 3 branches. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, let's get this started. I was just telling my daughter before I came here that I really just find so much peace coming to the cemetery and chatting with the souls here. My husband's very close cousin just passed away last week, tragically, in a car accident. It was awful. It was a 1-car accident. He went over like 4 lanes of traffic and ended up running into a concrete building. I think everybody's hoping that perhaps he had a heart attack or something like that, and he was already dead before he hit the building. I have spoken to him in spirit. I have witnessed him in spirit. And I believe whatever happened, he definitely did not know that what happened. He has no memory of it. And so that's a beautiful thing. But as it happens when people die, it opens our eyes and our souls to thinking more about life and death. Some of us, like me, think about it more than others. Life is precious, even when it's crazy and chaos. Anyway, my heart has been aching in sadness. Oh, here's a rock, a little piece of glass that I found on here, so I'm not going to throw that away. That was a gift from somebody. I'm not sad for Lynn, who died, because I know he's definitely in the greatest place. But I'm very sad for his family, his sons, his grandchildren that will never know him. Yesterday, as I was doing laundry, I took out a pair of my husband's pants and started to, fold them to put onto the hanger. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, how hard that must be for Lynn's family to have his clothes. What do you do with them? Do you hold on to them? Do you donate them? Having his smell. I remember my mother-in-law, when her mother died, I remember her just holding on to one of her mother's gowns that she used to wear. And she was just smelling it, just, taking in the scent. And it was like, it was a very peaceful thing to watch, because it is our senses that trigger us to remember. And we all do have a scent on Earth, just like our pheromones or whatever. How do you comfort someone when someone they love dies tragically and suddenly? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't too long ago, just a couple of months ago, that a high school friend of mine died also in a tragic car accident. And he was like 48 years old. And Lynn was 57 years old. It's like, I don't know. I was telling my mom yesterday on the phone, I said, Mom, for what I've seen, what Spirit has shown me, when we die, it is like we've been promoted. The greatest promotion ever. In life, we rely on monetary promotions, status promotions, but in heaven it's different. So I don't just like to think that Lynn and Louie and Grandma Hughes and Grandpa Hughes and others, my Nana and Papa, everybody, I don't just like to think they're in a better place. I know they are. Anyway, Marion and John, enough about me, right? I do hear you saying you appreciate hearing all of this, so thank you. I see there's a lot of Jones souls buried here. So you must have been a big family. I'm gonna put this, yikes, I don't want to lose it. Put it there for now. A lot of people also say life is short. I kind of don't see it like that. Unless you're comparing it to eternity, and then of course it is short. But also what people don't realize is that once we die, we may not be here in physical form, but we are in spirit all around and able to give signs, like the spirit animals. That's a big sign. also all the random things. Like when my daughter and I were leaving Aldi's the other day, on the day of Lynn's funeral, we got behind a truck that had a bumper sticker on it that just said Lynn University. And my daughter, she's just like me, she's very in tune with spirit. And she's the one who saw it first. She was like, oh my gosh, Mom. And so we both smiled. I mean, that's spirit. Not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Actually, what I've discovered over the past several years is there are far too many people who are closed to believing that spirit communicates with us. I tell my mom everything because, well, if I didn't, she wouldn't believe. So now she knows. When Lynn died, for the first few days, every day, I would have these visions, like I was observing him in heaven, going through all the stages of getting to the actual final gates. And I saw him at the Rainbow Bridge. I saw many things, and I asked my husband, did Lynn ever wear bow ties? He was like, I don't think so. I said, well, I'm seeing him in a red bow tie and also a green bow tie, maybe with little polka dots or something. It was like 2 days later, his sons posted on Facebook a bunch of pictures, and there was 2 pictures from each of the sons' weddings. In the one wedding, he was wearing a red bow tie, and in the other wedding, he was wearing a green bow tie with what looked like maybe little polka dots on it. That's my validation. I couldn't have known that on my own. Lynn was also my first spirit communication where I was observing and he had no idea. I saw him when he first got to heaven, and he had no idea what had happened. He didn't remember the accident. He knew that he had died, but he didn't understand. And that was very sad to see. He was crying. And then by the day of his funeral, he had already gone through, I guess, many stages in heaven, and he had accepted his death. I was also telling Chris that the importance of funerals is that it's a time for people in life to say goodbye, but it's also very important to the person who has died to be present at their funeral in spirit. As their final release. I just realized that the hose is right next to us. Yay! All right, seriously, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I've been doing too much talking. I'd love to hear from you. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's looking much better, but we still got some scrubbing to do. I'm gonna take my fingernail brush. I get all my supplies at the dollar store. Sponges, brushes. Marion, I hear you saying blooming. Mr. Jones, the first thing I'm seeing with you is you sitting on a chair, your favorite chair perhaps. Watching TV, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be 95 degrees here today. Holy cow. I think it's already 90. Okay, you're showing me tulips now. I wish I had tulips here for you. Mr. Jones, I'm feeling like you were a simple man, laid back. And now you're both saying something about a cookout. I see a grill. A lot of times it's not memories that Spirit gives to us, it's signs. So showing me a cookout doesn't necessarily mean you both are talking about a cookout. It symbolizes peace. Because cookouts are known to be family-oriented. Just like when I get the visions of picnics or people as a family by lakes. It's not dirty back there. Let's get that water. Beautiful. This is a beautiful headstone, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I love when people reach out to me when they hear something about spirit. And they'll say things like, I remember when you told me about 11/11, and I thought of you when I saw this. Because that is me making my imprint in this life. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Thank you for visiting with me, having me visit with you. I can tell that you're beautiful souls, which means you are beautiful earth souls as well. I really do hope you are resting and just enjoying all of the benefits of heaven. Let me put your flowers in first. I got pink for you, Marion. And red for you, Mr. John. And I also have a little solar light. That I thought would be cool. There we go. Thank you.